Absolutely.
Yeah, man, got a lot to live for. You know what I mean?
Right.
But here's a funny thing too. Before we get into it, bro, this is the 50th episode of Gambling Nights. How about that?
50 episodes of Gambling Nights.
Yes, 50.
Hey, that's on a New
50
Year's Eve. When you going
on
into the
New
new,
Year. Oh yeah,
I
New
love
Year's
that.
Eve, doing a little special thing for everybody out there before, people get into the festivities. New Year's used to be like a big deal. You know what I mean? Like everything. You know what I mean? Go to the party, and everything, bro. I'd be chill. I'd be sleep before the ball drop
I
sometimes.
hear that. I mean, we just talk about getting
You know
old.
what
We
I mean?
living majority of life. That's what that sounds like.
But I do want to hook something up though. I do want to have a good meal tonight. I don't know why.
Okay.
You got me on that seafood thing. You say you had made a seafood thing. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about I want to do something crazy with some seafood. I don't know what.
Yeah. I can see that recipe, man,
Mm,
for sure.
I want to do something. You know what I mean? What you get into anything tonight?
Yeah. Usually we go to dinner with another couple. Shout out to my boy Dave. He actually has a podcast. I'll get his information next time and to make sure I spread that information on here. But we usually get together, do a little New Year's Eve, and then go to the parents' crib and spend those times with the family. You know
You
what I
talking
mean?
about crumb bum Dave?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, that joint was viral. That joint was crazy. I don't know if he missed the opportunity, but it was still an opportunity to do something with that.
Yeah, you know what? We gotta get him on the show, man. One day we get him on the show, have him a little
Yeah, for sure,
talk his,
for
especially
sure.
on the Eagle segment because he go crazy.
Oh man, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
We'll end with that, and we'll start with that, man. This is Game of the Night. Let's go. Welcome everybody back for another episode, special episode, New Year's Eve, 50th episode of Gambling Nights. And I mean, the way this show has come along, I didn't think that this show would be where it's at right now. And it's funny because we haven't done it for so long, a little bit because of the gambling aspect that really took over, finding that the happy medium, but trying to bring this show back, man. And the buzz has been great. The buzz has been crazy. So happy to be here, happy to talk everything gambling, everything sports, hot topics. That's what we do here, and can't wait to get into it because we got a lot to talk about as we close out 2025. I'm your host. I'm the CEO. They call me Most Money. Got my guy with me as always, festive in the back, butt face, cleaned up nice. You know what I mean? Ready to give somebody a tea. Be humble. What's up?
What's up, man? Happy holidays, happy New Year, man.
Yes, sir.
Happy you sounded much better. I know you was going through a couple,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
little
yeah.
whatever's
A
going
lot of
around,
people was. It's crazy.
cooperative,
You
yeah,
talk to a lot of people in everybody's circle. Somebody has something.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and it hit me twice, right? I was worse on Thanksgiving, and then on Christmas, definitely got hit with a little something. But we here, we healthy, and we still talking in another year in the books with another chapter in the new year to open up. So,
Yeah.
you know, but let's get to the sports. Let's get to what we hear about. Let's get to what we're talking about. I talked about the Philadelphia Eagles a little bit. Missed our show on Monday. The homie, speaking of being out and about and being sick, Ernie B was out sick, so we didn't do the show Monday. But Eagles got a win, 2 wins in a row. Ugly win. A lot of noise out there right now about the Philadelphia Eagles. But I want to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture of this all is the playoffs. Playoffs. Now, this picture that I got is if the playoffs ended right now,
Yeah.
right? So we do have some big games coming up. Is Iowa still up? I know college playoff is playing. I know
Yeah.
they were up 7-0.
Well, that's not the playoffs, but yeah, it's a regular bowl
Oh
game.
no, that was a bowl game. That's right. The playoffs is later tonight.
You're correct.
Oh yes, I knew I should have bet Iowa, man. I knew that 4.5 Vanderbilt was phony.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just know, especially after that boy Diego started talking smack. They
Yeah,
not they ain't seen a defense like Iowa.
you getting beat up too.
Yeah, they getting beat up. You know what I mean? Yeah, they getting beat up. Um, but yeah. So this is if the playoffs started today. Again, some big games out there. Now, all the teams that you see here are pretty much locked in. The only two teams that are not locked in are the Steelers and the Ravens, which is a monster game coming up with absolutely no stars in it compared to what we've seen between that rivalry. I think the biggest stars are the head coaches, to be honest with you, on both those teams. I guess you could say Rodgers as well. And then the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Bucks. And the crazy thing about it, with the Rams losing, Carolina actually could lose that game and still get in the playoffs and win the NFC South by the Atlanta Falcons actually beating the Saints, which is probably going to be a competitive game because the Saints have been playing well. But looking here at this playoff picture here, man, anything that's going to really change is really the seeding. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, we'll get to it later today. The Niners and the Seattle, and pretty much for the NFC number one seed is a monster game too. That's Saturday. It's a toss up game. Looking at this, man, if this is the actual playoff picture, man, any games here excite you? Obviously, the Eagles are there, and my take on that game as well is duly noted, and people was waiting with the shooters out there waiting for me, y'all. My guy Brent, my guy Farm. Anything I said about the Rams, they just waiting out there for to shoot me, right? Oh, Nate. It got me lined up in the Interscope, waiting, just quiet, sitting there. I can feel
listen,
it.
We ain't do it.
I can feel the red dots coming, man. But I'm bulletproof, man, so I'm good. Any games up here that kind of like, yeah, that's gonna be a good game, or is everything really kind of like set up for the top seed to kind of keep moving forward?
No, not this year in NFL, man. I don't think so at all. I think this can kind of go anywhere on both sides, AFC, NFC. I don't think there is I can't see one team on either side that I say is going to go straight to the championship. I think it can be a mix of a bunch of teams. You have some lower popular teams. I don't say popular. I guess that's not the right word. Lower marketing teams like the Jaguars that are super hot right now that can go on a run. Texans are hot right now that can go on a run. I'm not, the Chargers, for them to kind of move forward. I'm not a Herbert fan or trusting Herbert, but hey, they
there with all the injuries that they faced.
Yeah, so
they're there.
They're fighting, and you don't know what's going to happen with Baltimore and Steelers, and then all that stuff that's happening in Baltimore if they can sneak in to the playoffs. And obviously Buffalo and New England's been playing lights out. Has the MVP at the quarterback position. I mean, and then you have the number one seed being Denver, which I think is probably the most vulnerable team that's out of the six, in the wild card. So I think AFC can go anywhere. I think the same thing for the NFC. I think you do have a strong team in Seattle. I think defensively they're led. They are a juggernaut on the defensive side of the ball. But we just seen them battle and go crazy against the Rams and give up 30+ points against the Rams. And
that was in Seattle too, right?
That was home. That was in LA. That was in LA.
That
game's in LA.
Yeah, you're right.
But then you got the Bears, who are hot right now. You got the Green Bay Packers, obviously without their quarterback, but Malik Willis looks really good in that green.
He does. He looks sharp. He looks like he looks like he could start for a team.
For sure. Then you got the Rams that look really, really good some days and play half of games, very similar to the Eagles. And then they'll give up some in the second half sometimes. So we think they have everything, all the pieces. Great receivers, great quarterback, pretty good defense, good run game. But they can be beat also. Do you have San Fran that's been kind of sleeping in the dark, sitting there and just winning football games? Brock Purdy with 5 touchdowns, doing this thing since he's been back, 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy. And then you got Carolina Panthers, I think maybe the weakest of the few, in Tampa Bay that may sneak in there. But you never know what can happen in the playoffs. And then obviously our Eagles, who we all feel has not played to their potential, right? We think they haven't played a complete, full potential game for the Philadelphia Eagles, but they do have a champion, like you said, championship defense led by our edge rushers that we just picked up in Jaden Phillips. Yeah. We have our money where our money's at on the offensive side of the ball. AJ, Jalen, Devontae, Saquon, and we can get those boys on the same page and getting going. I think the Eagles are going to be a tough out.
Yeah, the Eagles are dangerous, and I think just because you said it in a little snippet there, I forget the exact numbers, but I know that they lead the league in defensive efficiency on third down,
They're down. Yeah,
and I believe they also have the lowest between Quinion and Coop. They have the lowest pass percentage against them. I think Quinion is like, I don't know, like I want to say like it's in the 30 percentile, 40% or
yeah,
something like that. And Coop is just right there with them. Both went to the Pro Bowl, possibly both. I know Quinion will probably get to an All Pro this year, in my opinion, because I don't think he's the only quarter. I think he's the only cornerback with X amount of starts who hasn't given up a touchdown yet, if I'm
crazy.
not mistaken, which is
What a
crazy.
what a great draft pick.
Yeah, amazing draft, both of them, right?
Second
Yeah,
year for both these
second
guys.
year guy. Yeah, right, second year guy. So along with Coop, who Coop started when he didn't start his rookie year, he was hurt his rookie year, and now one of the best nickel, if not the best nickel corner in the whole NFL. So that game right there, it's obviously circle. Why? One, because it's a eagle. We're Eagles fans, and it's the Eagles in the playoffs. But I do feel the Rams are the biggest threat to the Eagles,
Hmm.
right? And I do think, a little bit iffy now, just because the way Jalen Carter, the way I saw Jalen Carter play, he looked fresh, he looked healthy, and that is a big problem for the NFL. If that's a healthy Jalen Carter going to the playoffs, arguably the most disruptive and arguably the best interior defensive lineman in all of football. Um, Having that guy along with this defense is really scary. And my guy Jalen Hunt, I was talking about him in the thing. He is showing up and showing out. He's being disruptive. Everybody is like they're clicking defensively, and I think Vic Fangio kind of came out. They found the way they want to play defense,
Hmm.
right? And they're all young outside of Brandon Graham. So when you have that, I mean, the offense can just play keep away, and they'll win games because I think it's gonna be hard for anybody to score 20 points on that defense.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, our defense flies around.
Yeah,
The
so
only problem to those stats that you said is the offense, right?
it's the offense.
They
Yeah,
wash it. They wash that third down percentage on defense by being the worst third down offense in the National Football League.
which is crazy.
So it's like it almost
Yeah,
washes all that effort. And I do find, and I know a
like
couple
they're
of
down
takes.
there with the Raiders, the Saints.
Yeah,
Like it's just wild those statistical offensive plays. And then I know the big up in arms with Kevin Batula and what he said about the run game, and we just run the run sometimes. It's interesting about that take though that he said. I didn't hear that as I heard that as him not making play calls anymore. Like he's just like, yeah, we're just running the run at times. Like he's not the one calling the play, you know, at that, you know, I think it triggered a moment in his head when they probably caught a run play where they didn't really need to, or the fit or the off or the look of the defense said, they got nine in the box and they're going to still run it, and they have a clearly advantage, from their personnel to our personnel, and we still run it. We don't check out, and we're going to run the ball. In my head, I don't know if that's his call or not. Did you get that, or because we know things have changed in that front and that offensive play calling a little bit. So is that him making that call,
so this.
or what do
Mhm.
you think?
I'm not trying to be so biased on this.
Right.
Um, I try to get the full picture as much before I make a comment, and it's hard when you're week to week and making comments to do that. Now we got a bigger full picture of really, and then you have that cherry on top on that conversation from Petula. It tells me that there is no plan or cohesion to the offense. That's just a comment you just don't make. You're saying, and from what you said, I'm not going to try to think about how you thought about it. I'm going to talk about what you said. And if it comes out that way so easily, then it's telling me it's more natural. You're saying we're going to do something regardless of what the defense is dictating us to do. And that's not how an offensive coordinator should be thinking. They should have a plan and a way to force defenses out of what they want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can run your plays the way you want to. And
Mm-hmm.
that is it was a little bit more deeper. Listen to Kevin Petula. And then when you marry that with the relationship between Petula and Nick Sirianni, that's the problem. They're homies. That's his homie. That's his buddy. They're on the sideline. They
Yeah.
jumping up. They doing a little thing and they excited and all this stuff. And we had
Yeah.
13 points in the first half.
People
And
hate that. People hate that shit.
they do.
They hate it
Because it's not a representation of like of where you are, right? As successful as Nick Sirianni has been with this football team, it's telling me a little bit more. You know what I mean? When I'm seeing behaviors from last week. Now I'm not saying it's going to, we're not going to win no football game because of it. I'm saying it's just those moments. I thought he checked that a little bit earlier. He did. You saw him make those changes from a year ago, and especially going into our Super Bowl run year of him calming down a little bit on that sidelines. And I guess it gets the best of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if anybody's checking out that Hard Knocks. You get a little bit more insight of Nick Sirianni, a little bit more about how he was an athlete, and it wasn't that long ago before he became a head coach when he was actually running up and down catches and scoring football himself. So he has that player mentality, and like he's really invested in the game as far as like a player. And you see that sometimes when he celebrates. You see that sometimes in post games. And I think that can be, it can be a turnoff for a lot of people. It's a turnoff for me because I don't need my head coach to be that way. I need my head coach to come in and be like, yo, this wasn't acceptable. We're not like how AJ Brown looked at Nick Sirianni walking into the locker room. Like, bro, seriously, calm the fuck down. Or like we've seen on the sideline when Jalen Hurts had to tell him, calm down, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Like, a player shouldn't have to tell the head coach to calm down.
Right.
And I think those are things that where it shows me a little bit more like these guys are actually managing themselves. We just got mature players for the most part that are pretty much managing themselves.
Being one of the younger teams.
Right.
Too.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it shows me. So
yeah.
The offense, it could be an issue. Hopefully we can, I don't know, we're going to find the next 2 weeks. I think the offense needs to play next week. I know.
The rumor is that they're sitting select. They're basing it off the Super Bowl runs that they had. And during those Super Bowl runs, whether it was a bye week or they had their seating locked up, they rested starters that week 18. Or the last week of the season. So the thought is following that same, getting guys rested, getting guys off the feet, getting us as healthy as we can for this, obviously for hopefully another deep playoff run and off to the Super Bowl. Speaking of that, though, let me just catch up with all the seeding news and all that stuff, just so everybody kind of knows where. So pretty much Denver's in the driver's seat of the number 1 seed. They win, and they're good. They could still get the number 1 seed if they tie, New England loses, or Jacksonville loses. New England still has a chance to clinch over 1 seed. Obviously, they need Denver to lose, and they win. The Jags can actually still get the number 1 seed, but they need the top 2 seeds to lose, and obviously they win with Texans. But they could fall at any place except for 4. So Jacksonville is going to be all over the place from a seeding perspective. Houston can win the AFC South and get the 4th seed. That's about where they'll be, 4th or 5th, and then obviously, 3rd. They can get the 3rd seed, I believe. My apologies. And then obviously the winner of Baltimore Steelers are going to get the 4th seed. Now on the NFC, we just talked about, and we'll talk about it here shortly. Niners versus Seahawks will determine the number 1 seed for the NFC right now. If one of them loses, it's going to get messy in the NFC of where that drops. They could be the 5th seed. I don't think the Rams can be the 6th seed. I think, Green Bay is locked in as the 7th seed. So 1 all the way, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 can all get kind of scattered. Like the Eagles, if the Eagles are Seattle fans. So if Seattle wins, and I think if the Bears beat Detroit, if the Bears lose to Detroit and Seattle wins, then the Eagles get the 2nd seed. That's how they get to the 2nd seed. If the Niners win, then the Eagles can't get the 2nd seed at all. because it would fall to Seattle and then so forth, kind of going down the line there. So Green Bay's the only one locked in at 7.
Mm,
So everybody kind of wants that second seed because I think, you know, well, or the fifth seed, because those are seems to be the more easier of the matchups.
mm,
Like I said, I don't think you want to play the Niners or you want to play the Rams at this moment right now. And Tampa does not control their fate, even though if they win, they might not get in because Atlanta can lose. I'm sorry, Atlanta can win and still knock them out of the playoffs
yeah.
from a three-way tie. So a lot of seeding, a lot of kind of different scenarios that we got here. I think we talked about this before. First 2026 prediction. Give me a Super Bowl matchup. And give me one or two. I know we kind of hinted at one before, but if this is your pitcher or this is going to be our pitcher, so you see the matchups, you see who's going to go where and how everything's going to run. Um,
Hmm.
give me a matchup. I guess give me both, right? Give me a chalky matchup and then, kind of like a long shot matchup.
I'm gonna go Eagles Texans.
Okay.
I know people probably haven't really thought about that. And a wild card would be Patriots San Fran.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like the Patriots San Fran because was it San Fran? Yeah, was that the one that came back? No, that was Atlanta, but it was Kevin. It was
Atlanta.
still Shanahan though.
Yeah.
Shanahan was coaching. I liked it.
The only thing with the 49ers, their defense is kind of below the line of getting that
Yeah,
far. But if their matchups are good enough, throughout this playoffs, like if they have to play the Carolina Panthers, I think they can beat the Carolina Panthers, and they can avoid like a Seattle. I think will give them problems, um, potentially. But yeah, that would be like a wild card. Patriots, San Fran, and then
I
I
like
think
that.
value wise, you can see a matchup. Even if we're on the betting side and think about the betting side, it'd be Eagles, Texans. It might be good value there.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it was like um 25 to 1 or something like that.
That's good value.
Yeah, it was good value.
I
So
think this year is going to be a random. It's going to just be a little bit of more random. You know what I mean? I think the Eagles are strong enough and competent enough to get there.
mhm.
Um, so if I'm going to say the Eagles, and I would look at something more of a defensive led team, which is the best defense on that AFC side, which would be the Houston Texans. Um,
Yeah, so I don't believe in New England.
okay,
Um, I don't believe in New England, especially with the Stefon Diggs news, and we'll get to that.
that's big. That's big news.
Yeah, so I don't believe in New England, and I don't believe in New England because Buffalo went to New England and beat New England. So
Hmm.
that kind of opened my eyes, and I don't think much of Buffalo really. So give me, I like the Jags and the Niners,
Okay,
um, and then I like um, a rematch. I like if Stefon Diggs plays, I like New England and Philly.
okay,
I like a little bit of rematch. I think Houston's offense is going to, you know, eventually show its ugly head. But there's two things we always talk about. We've been talking, me and you've been talking about it for years, not only just a show, but even before we got on the show together. You win in the playoffs if you can run the ball and play defense.
hmm,
And Houston has zero run game.
yeah,
Zero run game. And I think that's going to be a big problem. All right, let's talk about, the biggest matchup and I'm sorry, not the biggest matchup. Yes, the biggest matchup coming up, this Saturday, which will kind of change, I think, the way Sunday goes for certain teams if they play the starters. And for the number one seed, man, that's San Fran and Sam Donald out in the 12, playing in Seattle. Huge monster game, playoff like atmosphere. Sam hasn't been playing that well down the stretch. He's made some plays at the end, but he hasn't been playing that well. Purdy has been playing pretty good, but I think he comes down to earth, man. What do you see in this matchup between these two heavyweights for the NFC title? And kind of looking, kind of by our playoff picture. What's your thought on this game?
Oh, I think I mean, obviously, it's going to be a great game. It's a Saturday game, so they kind of set it up where they got to really kind of fight without knowing who they end up having to play.
Yep.
So it's a little tricky. So they got to really kind of be out there ready to go. Looking at their past matchup,
Sorry, this
uh,
game is in San Fran. I said it was in
yeah,
Seattle. Yeah, my bad.
looking at their earlier matchup, it was a tight game, 17-13 final. Um, Brock Purdy, 2 interceptions, and that's a tough defense in Seattle. Man, they're gonna get after you.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Darnold struggled a little bit against that defense, but mind you, that defense was a little bit different than the defense they have now. Um, they had their starters, they had their, they were full, they
Yeah, that
were
was game
full,
one.
yeah, full steam. It's going to be a little bit different for this offense to be able to move the ball against the San Francisco offense. I like Seattle here. I think
Mm.
Seattle takes and keeps that 1 seed. I think I'll be able to get after Brock Purdy. Um, if Brock Purdy is not going to depend on his legs, which he has, lately, I think it's be a problem in that pocket because that D line up front for Seattle can get after you.
Yeah,
Most turnovers.
Brock act like he been to a couple cookouts, man.
Yeah. He
Right?
he been
Brock,
feeling himself a little bit.
yeah, jigging and everything. You know what I mean? So now I'm actually on the other side. Is I do think the Niners
Mm,
uh, take care of business here at home. I think I've been, I wouldn't call myself a Purdy fan, but I don't think he gets a little bit some of the respect. I think a lot of people think he's mediocre, and I think he's better than that. And I don't think Sam is proof. I think Sam is the first person in NFL history to win 13 games with two different teams in back-to-back seasons. So Sam is, still breaking some history, but Sam is he's faltering late. And it's always been his MO. He's starting to falter a little bit late. They're not getting Najigma the ball like they used to. They're trying to win in other ways by running the ball a little bit more, using their tight ends. So it's still a dynamic team. Like you said before, a great defense. But I just think the coaching edge will go to Shanahan over
So
McDonald.
when you say out, well, let me um let me ask you a question. I don't want to cut you off in that.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you say they're falling off as of late, like what you mean?
No, I think Darnold is.
I think Sam's falling
I
off.
think Sam
Okay,
is falling off
gotcha.
as of late. I mean, he started off, hot, right? 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. We were talking before, like, is Najima going to get to 2,000 yards the way they was featuring him? I mean, it was a stretch where he had what 6, 7 games over 125 yards.
Hmm.
So but now I think he's being a little bit more tempered, and I think that I mean against Carolina, Sam had 147 yards, one touchdown. Rams a little bit better, right? That was a big back and forth game, a great game. He didn't throw a touchdown in Indy. Did pretty well against Atlanta, and then Minnesota he didn't throw a touchdown. He had 120. I think they lost that game in Minnesota. No, they won that game. So when it's like hit or miss, hit miss. Before it was always hit hit hit. He's good. He's
Hmm.
good. Now it's like hit miss, hit miss, hit miss. So that's what I mean by I think he's cooled off from that hot start. The first actually 10, 11 games, and he's starting to kind of show a little bit more. I mean, in the last 4 games, he's got 4 picks. Um, and there was a stretch where he had he had what was that? Take away the 4 pick game against the Rams earlier, but he had a stretch where he had a couple picks in a row too as well. So I just think he's starting to show why he's never been the guy. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we're going to see in this one. And I think Kyle Shanahan is going to be able to scheme this one up. Getting Kittle back, I think is going to be huge for San Fran. If they can get Kittle back, I get the edge to San Fran. And quietly this season, San Fran gets the number 1 seed out of nowhere.
Okay.
Out of nowhere. So, keeping with the playoff picture, now let's bring the picture back up. We just talked about that number 1 seed game, but let's talk about also some things that are happening in the NFL that are kind of big stories. And one of them right now Do the Ravens really need Lamar to win? Um, and when to get into the playoffs? Do they need Lamar Jackson? Because the word on the street was that his back is really bad, and that was the reason why he didn't play. Like it locked up on him, a lot of pain. Just couldn't do anything with the spasms that he had in his back to get ready to play that game um, last week. Now they did what they did. They lent on King Henry, and King Henry delivered 36 carries for 200 and X amount of yards. Going against a
4 touchdowns.
four touchdowns. How about that bet? If somebody bet that, that would have been sick. Um, the one of the biggest and oldest and known hard hitting rivalries in the AFC is Baltimore Ravens versus Pittsburgh Steelers. And they're building the story up for that, but we all know the players in this and the ones that are not going to be there where we don't think it's going to turn out to be that. And the question is coming along, if Lamar Jackson, and especially the way he's been playing this year, if he's not 100%, does it make sense for him to play this game? Do the Ravens need Lamar in this game?
I mean, would they need him if they were to play in the playoffs?
I would think so. You would need your starting quarterback.
Okay, well then you need him. You need him Sunday or whenever they
Mm,
play. I mean, this is a playoff game. Is when you win, you win.
yeah,
So if you don't, I mean, that for me, you need your best player, you need your former MVP, regardless how he's been playing. I think you trust that over Huntley, right? Like so, you know, all the conversation behind Baltimore and who's going to be on fire. Is it going to be the coach? Is it going to be Lamar? Is Lamar going to get traded and all that stuff like that? Maybe, but I know one thing: if he don't play Sunday, they're not a better team without him.
no, of course not. Yeah,
Well, then they need to be the best team because the Steelers will take that 6th seed with and say thank you, Baltimore. Appreciate it. We get Aaron Rodgers
well, you
another
actually know you get
opportunity.
this is for the division, so this whoever wins get this. You get a home game. This is for the seed
Whoever
four.
wins this gets in the playoffs. If you lose, you go home.
No, but it's for the division.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
What I'm
okay.
saying is you need to win this game to get
No, you're right.
to play more games. I'm not playing this game just to win a division. I'm playing you win a division because you got to get in the playoffs. That's what happens. They're
Yeah,
not getting in the playoffs without this game. So they need their best players. If Lamar Jackson's not healthy to play, like he really can't play, then he can't play. You gotta do what you gotta do. But if he is anywhere healthy to play, he needs to be in the game.
I agree.
You
Yeah,
know,
you can't. You just don't set MVPs. And I
no,
mean, multiple MVPs too, mind you. And I just got looked it up too. He was at practice today.
he better
Uh,
be.
that was 15 minutes ago. That was updated.
Unless his back, his spine is going to be, you know,
We are. I know, right? You already know what I'm thinking about.
yeah,
Broke my back,
right. So
spinal.
listen, we had this year, we had in sad form, man, Daniel Jones that was playing hell of a football before he broke his leg and played on a broken leg for 2 weeks before he blew his Achilles on the other leg. I mean, listen, Lamar, you better figure it out.
Yeah. No, they better figure out. I don't see. I mean, without DK, this Steelers team's a lot
It's tough, still is.
is different.
Gonna be tough.
So, and I think the story kind of has already passed. With the fan with DK, so that's why we're not even talking about it. But without DK, I mean, this Pittsburgh Steelers team is going to be really limited. Shout out to Kenny Gainwell though, Kenny G, coming out of Philly. Who's done everything for them. I think he leads them in receptions, which is wild. But yeah, no, I agree. And then obviously, I got this graphic of Lamar's record in the playoffs. You know, anything can happen, and like you said, the AFC is wide open. If Lamar shows any magic, it's a team you don't want to play. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that. It's definitely
for
a
sure.
team you don't want to play. So, staying with our playoff pitcher in the NFL, dominating our conversation. I think this is already kind of done, but you know, it looks like Matthew Stafford played himself out of the MVP conversation with that 3 interception, and they lost the game. Last performance that he just had, and Drake Maye goes off again and only had 2 incompletions that same week.
And
I think
5
that
touchdowns
was that the 5 touchdown game.
against the Jets. Yes, he had
Yeah.
5.
Okay. So I mean, are we fooling ourselves? Like, if the favorite is Drake May at the moment, what would Stafford need to do, or is it already over? In
Stafford
your
can't do
opinion,
nothing.
it's over.
They lost to the Falcons, and he
Okay.
was a part of that reason.
All right.
Drake May put up 5 touchdowns that same week and only threw 2 incompletions. They were already, pretty much 1A, 1B. So this kind
Yeah.
of like that's for me. This sealed that, and you're leading a team that first year head coach. New England and Vrabel, coming in there taking a quarterback and getting that team to turn around the way the Patriots was over the past few years. This is
Mhm.
big, man. Be the number 2 seed, potentially number 1 seed. The way Drake May's been playing, spot on. Probably one of the best deep passing quarterbacks in the NFL. Very accurate to football. Can also use his feet. He's been phenomenal this year. And yeah, Matthew Stafford was also phenomenal throughout the year too. But when you
Yeah.
have 2 of these, you guys are going neck and neck. Pause. You got to make sure that you got to make sure that you can't have no lack of weeks like he just like Matthew just had 3 interceptions and a loss. No,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. I can't defend my guy Stafford in this one. He
what's the
pretty much.
odds? Let me look at the odds. I guess the odds will tell me something different than what I just said. But let me before we
No,
go.
it's pretty telling. I think
Oh,
Drake
okay.
Drake. I think Drake May went from plus. I think he was plus 185 uh entering week 17, and now I think he's like minus 400, minus 300
Mhm.
at this point. Um, Stafford was the favorite until that game, pretty much. But I I can't defend Stafford. It would take a monster game for him to really like a 5-6 touchdown game for the odds to even spin down, and then there's no way they can win the number 1 seed anyway. So, um, yeah, I think you're right here. I think Drake May in year 2, mind you. I don't remember the last time a quarterback won the MVP in year 2.
Okay.
Um, you know what I mean? Maybe
So
Mahomes, maybe
year 2. It's not
year
year. It's not Drake's year 2, is it? No, this is year 3, right?
is it year 3 or year 2? I thought
I
it
think
was
it's
year 2.
3. I think it's year 3.
He
Right?
wasn't a rookie
He had
last
2
year?
years. He had 2. No, he
Then
wasn't rookie.
he sat a year, didn't he? Didn't he sit a whole year? He got hurt.
I don't know if he said. I think this is year 3 though. So I know he had 2 years in New England prior to this year.
I think the first year 1 he got hurt.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, I think I think what I think he tore his meniscus and they sat him for the year. They didn't even play with it. They sat him for the year.
Okay.
And then, because is this not Joe Alt? Who's their Campbell? Their left tackle, right? Was he from LSU? I think.
Campbell's from LSU. Yeah. This is his
Yeah.
second year.
This is his second year,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
Yeah, and they took him. Remember, they took him.
So this is Drake's 3rd year.
This is
Yeah.
Drake's 3rd year, but he was out that first year. He was hurt that first year
Okay.
because he didn't win Rookie of the Year or anything.
He was shitty.
No, I don't think he played. I think he was. I'm pretty sure he's out. I'm pretty
And
sure
he
he's
would
out.
have another. He would have another rookie year if he did play. He would be a second year. He was shitty then too.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, either way, 2 years, 3 years, it is.
yeah.
We
It's pretty
run
wild.
down these awards real quick while we're here. What you think? So we got MVP. We're okay
Yeah,
with Drake May, right? We're good with Drake May.
yeah.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. We got McMillan from the Carolina Panthers as the favorite at minus 140. Tyler Shaw, quarterback out of New Orleans, plus 140. Looks like he's second. And then you have Travion Henderson out of the Patriots, running back. Jackson Dart, quarterback out of New York. And then you got Emeka Ibuka. And it's funny how, and look, Harold Fanning had popped in here too. So it looks like, we had some movement throughout the year because it was, Jackson Dart
Yeah,
that was leading the way. He kind of got that concussion and continued to be reckless, and that fell off.
still reckless.
And then he had McMillan out of the Carolina Panthers, who's been quietly one of the best receivers in the NFL. Because you had Emeka Egbuka that was balling in Tampa Bay too, and he kind of like lightened up a little bit throughout the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I do think I don't know. I think it's interesting that McMillan would be there because it's such a small market. We don't really see Carolina as a passing team with the quarterback there. So
I mean, he's their number one option there, McMillan. And if they make the playoffs, he's a reason to that. But for me, the way New Orleans is playing, if New Orleans wins this last game against Atlanta, I think Tyler wins it.
Wow. And he only played, what, 6 games? 7
he only
games?
played 6 games. I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league.
Yeah, that's true.
And he is turning eyes where when they picked him, almost similar to who was that got picked like that late? And everybody was like, what? Like, who was this guy? You remember? Yeah, I think, was he from Cincinnati? Is he from Cincinnati? I think it was.
Tyler Shaw's from a red team.
Yeah, I thought it was Cincinnati. Was it Cincinnati?
Not Cincinnati, no.
But I remember. I think I played it. You remember? I think we clowned it too.
He was trash. Yeah, he was trash.
Yeah, he had very like the throw that went off somebody's head or like and then it looked like almost like high school.
Yep.
Type ball, but Louisville.
Yeah,
that's Louisville. So
defensive rookie of the year. I don't even know these people. Who the hell is Carson Swindon?
Oh, yeah, he's gonna win it. He's the linebacker from Cleveland. He's a monster.
Oh,
like he might be the best linebacker in like 2-3 years. Like he's like Kuechly.
What college did you go to? It's an Ohio State guy. It sounds like Ohio State.
I think it's Ohio State
or Iowa guy. Schwischinger. That sounds like an Ohio State. Iowa type. Wisconsin.
I think it was Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I think he's Ohio State. Let me see.
Carson
actually, no, my bad. UCLA.
UCLA, a Cali kid?
Yeah, UCLA. Yeah, a Bruin. No, but he was a top. He was a high pick. He was like a second round pick for a linebacker. Okay. Like he was a beast.
Runner up looks like his Nick Imanawari. That looks like he's from Seattle, right?
Yeah.
He's from Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look like Abdul Carter fell off. Jahed Campbell. Obviously, we know what happened with Jahed Campbell.
Yeah, of course, Carter fell off. It's nonsense.
Yeah, Carter's crazy. All right, and then we got Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Christian McCaffrey, who's coming on late, really strong here to make a run for the Offensive Player of the Year. Puka Nacua and Bijan Robinson.
We talked about this. I think Puka is the best receiver in the league. Like I just can't. Yeah. Like he is silly, and they got a game against the Cardinals coming up. I'm pretty sure they're all playing because Stafford has a shot to still win the MVP, so he's going to play. But I mean, right now, Puka is where is he at?
He's a far favorite though. I don't think he gets there. It's like plus 1,800. I'm looking at right now.
But I mean, he could end up leading the league in receiving.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So
Jackson has what, 1,700 yards, 1,800 yards, right?
He has 17. He has 1709, and Puka has 1639. Puka can catch him. You get they force feed him.
What about the touchdowns?
Puka scores a lot too. He's got 9.
Yeah, but Jackson got like 15, 16.
10.
Right? Jackson only got 10?
He's got 10.
Okay.
I told he fell. He didn't really fall off, but like his games haven't he's had those long touchdowns. He would have 7-8 receptions for like 150 yards, 160 yards. Now it's more like 7 receptions for 80 yards.
Puka would have to have a game like he had 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Puka would need to have like a 200
to jump over Christian McCaffrey and Jackson Jacobs.
Yeah,
and they would have to have pretty much marginal games.
I honestly, if I'm a bet man, I would throw money on Puka.
Okay.
I actually would throw money on Puka because they're matchup proof. They force feed him the ball.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And now you got to throw. You're going to have them throwing because Stafford's got to make a statement for MVP. You can cue in Stafford for probably 3 touchdowns at least against the Arizona Cardinals. Because we're money chasing right now.
If they're going to play the whole way, right? What are Rams really? Are they chasing MVP? Are we really risking our quarterback to? You know what I mean? Like it does kind of go down to that Saquon Barkley-ish type of scenario, right? Do we get the record or do we worry about the playoffs and come for a chip? Like, are we going to really leave this guy out here this whole time
Well,
for
I mean,
MVP?
we'll see, right? Because Saturday will dictate them. Because then the seeding will change, and then we'll know whether
Yeah.
the Rams lose or win where they want to be from a seeding perspective.
All right. Defensive
Yeah,
player of the year. Obviously, we know that's going to
yeah,
go to
that's
Myles
locked
Garrett.
up.
What a phenomenal year. I hope
I hope he gets the record.
gets the
Yeah.
record. He deserves it. What a player. And comeback player of the year. It looks like it's going to go to Christian McCaffrey. Where's he coming
Yes.
back from?
I don't know. I
Did he,
think
did
I
he get
think
hurt
Lawrence
last year?
got hurt last year, right? Did Lawrence got hurt last year?
Trevor Lawrence. Did Christian McCaffrey get hurt last year?
I don't think so.
How would that be a comeback player?
They just want to get their boy award.
I'm
They just want to get their boy
gonna say,
award.
wait, how can you be a comeback player? You ain't coming back from nothing besides the next year. Like, what do you think?
I don't know.
I see Dak
Maybe
Prescott
he had
was
an
up there as
off year.
comeback
They feel like
player.
he had an off year.
What?
Yeah, and he's favored. He's a heavy favorite too to win that. So,
Bruh, Phillip Rivers is on this board.
I like it.
Plus 5,000. Go ahead, put your money on it.
Yeah, I like. If he would have been able to sneak them into the playoffs, that would have been a great bet.
Aiden Hutchinson would be those are comeback players for me.
Yeah,
Like Aiden Hutchinson off that injury and be able to play the way he played. Those are comeback players, not just people having better years than they had the year before. Not a comeback player. Come on, man.
It's dumb.
Sorry.
No, you good. You good. Before we leave football, we got one more thing to talk about football, and I think you put this in here. Talking about MVPs, we're talking about Drake Maye and the New England Patriots, and them getting the number 1 seed. But man, still got some things coming out here with this guy, man. Staying in the news for the wrong stuff. From 4 baby moms, to being on a boat with substances on it, kind of for the most part all alleged stuff. Nobody's convicting him of anything, but it's a crazy story, man. Take a listen.
Charges of strangulation and assault. He's accused of attacking his personal chef over a payment dispute. His attorney denying the allegations. And tonight, how the Patriots are responding as the team gears up for the playoffs. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimberg.
Tonight, New England Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs facing multiple criminal charges stemming from an alleged incident at his home earlier this month. According to the police report, a woman who said she was working as a private chef at Diggs's Dedham, Massachusetts home claims he entered her unlocked bedroom December 2nd after they had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to her. She says he subsequently smacked her across the face and then tried to choke her and allegedly threw her onto the bed and said something to the effect of "thought so" before walking out of the room. Authorities now pursuing felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery charges against Diggs after police say the victim changed her mind and wanted to go ahead with filing criminal charges. In a statement, Diggs' attorney says in part he categorically denies these allegations because they did not occur, and he looks forward to establishing the truth in a court of law. The 4-time Pro Bowler recently had a baby boy with rap star Cardi B. Meanwhile, the Patriots saying in part, "We support Stefon and they will cooperate."
I hate the media. What does Cardi B and him having a baby with her have anything to do with anything of what just happened? Like, you just seen that they just snuck that in. Let them finish.
Operate fully with the appropriate authorities and the NFL. With the arraignment in this case is scheduled for January 23rd, but with the Patriots headed to the playoffs and the severity of these allegations, the big question now is, will Diggs, the team's leading wide receiver, be allowed to play? With
Andrew Dim.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, right? And I think that's where we can kind of end that and start with it all at the same time. Do you think Stefon Diggs, due to these allegations, do you think that the NFL is going to take action? And what would it be? The Patriots taking action? The NFL will only get for conduct issues if proven guilty, right? Like if something's proven or they actually go to trial. Do you think the New England Patriots will actually take action against Stefon Diggs, as this would obviously be a distraction everywhere they
go? So obviously not a good day for the Diggs family. Stefon Diggs, man, you're having a hell of a year, brother.
Yeah, 2025 is definitely one to remember.
Yeah, and that's a lot of ways. And I'm not going to pass judgment on what he does and how he does it. Doesn't look the best though. And then his brother today gets released by the Cowboys because he wanted to go to a concert. So, I mean,
Are you serious? I didn't even know. I thought
oh
he
yeah,
always wanted to leave Dallas. Like
it seemed like it, and it seemed like he got paid. What, you just got paid recently, 97 million, right?
I
And
thought he wanted a raise. I thought it was a money dispute, and they were just like, no.
they paid him. He got paid before Michael Parsons. He got paid that year before. I think it was like a year ago, 2 years ago. He got paid a max deal like 97 million.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
And it seems like this money's gotten to these guys, man. Unfortunately, I don't hate to be the judge of that. It looks like the money's gotten to these guys, the way they act, the way they come off. Right? I don't know them personally, so this is all just the way they present themselves. But yeah, Trayvon didn't want to go. It looks like Trayvon didn't want to go back with the team out of DC. He wanted to stay home. They said no. They declined his request, and he stayed anyway. And they released him the next day. So yeah, man, this doesn't look like it's a good day for the Diggs family. The Patriots. Back to your question: do the Patriots step in and try to be ahead of the curve? The best thing that I think the max they may do is maybe suspend them for this week's game. Right? Like for good faith. And then
right.
It's a bye week.
Make sure his ass is ready for the playoffs.
But there ain't no way you implode yourself in the playoff run that you have. So I think the coaching staff, I think the head coach, I think Robert Kraft is pissed right now that they got to deal with this, especially on a year that they're having with the Patriots and getting relevant again.
Mr. Massage himself.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure he has a lot to explaining to do, talking to Mr. Kraft. And Mr. Kraft knows a lot of people, so maybe he can kind of work his magic in the back end to kind of erase what's happening, these allegations. Because I can easily see Mr. Kraft being too far away from his own allegations.
Exactly.
So I think he knows a lot of people in a lot of high places in authority. Yeah, he can probably get some things done. This is all allegedly. I'm just allegedly saying. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's it's always that he say, she say. It sounds like a pimp type deal, right? He said he walked in her room, smacked her, and said, "Bitch, you ain't gonna do nothing. Shut up and go back to work." Right? Walked out. So, and like you said, these cats.
I mean, the way he moving, he kind of moving like a pimp. He kind of moving like the Mac.
No, for sure.
Moving like
you saw when you saw the starting five, right?
I seen it.
He got 4, and then you got your all-star
Cardi
B.
You got your bottom B is Cardi.
Yeah,
he might be a pimp. This might be a 30 for 30 in the next like 5 years. We realize
he probably is. And I think after this came out, the video from when he was on the Vikings came out of people asking in the locker room, a friendly locker room conversation, that he was like, what they asked all the stars. This is back when
his teammates, right?
Yeah, he was asking his teammates back when Dalvin Cook was there. Who wouldn't you let your daughter or your sister date? And all of them said Diggs.
It's crazy work.
Crazy. So,
and unfortunately, I think another popped up today is that he got another baby already here that she's already claiming that that's his kid.
These boys be out in these streets, man.
Ooh.
Talking about shooting up the club. Don't even care.
He got the money right now. So
for now, I mean, I didn't add the story, but there's a crazy story about Floyd. Floyd had made $1 billion, and now Floyd supposedly in debt. How you got to make $1 billion? Oh,
I didn't see none of that.
Yeah, and Floyd supposedly in debt. Crazy.
Well, you can see the way his spending habits are. So
you know what I mean. But speaking of Floyd, in a more kind of we were so high with football, and now we going down. We got to find a way to get out of here. But I think this is a big story, especially after the big Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul fight. Let me turn this down a little bit, but got some video here. Nothing graphic though. I know there's some graphic. I haven't seen the graphic ones. I don't want to see the graphic ones. I'm not about that. Burning that image, but very, very lucky man, and unfortunately some unlucky folks. Also, Anthony Joshua was in a crash in Nigeria, and this is the aftermath.
Right couple group. Man, when I bring this man out, now what you think we survive? Oh boy.
So that was there's other videos of people helping him out the car. Obviously, you seen him wincing in pain, without a scratch, supposedly minor injuries, probably whiplash. I'm sure he's feeling it, but now mentally, because he lost two of his close and his homies in the ride. There was 4 people: the driver, him, and 2 of his homies. 2 of his homies, unfortunately, passed away. One of them doing big things in the humanitarian. I think I saw and I read out there, doing some big things out there in Africa, from a humanitarian side, doing good for a lot of people, and not, nobody knew about it until this happened. So, even love it even more. But looking at Joshua at this moment and the call out with Fury after this fight and the mega fight that they were going to more likely have in Wilmington after Fury kind of called him out, he gets it done as his tune-up fight to get Fury. But after something like this shakes you. It changes the way you look at life. It changes you in general. People around you. You go back in that gym, and the 2 guys who were always there are no longer there, and you were your guys. Not even talking about whose fault, how it happened, blah blah blah. What does this do to Anthony Joshua's boxing career? Like, is he done? Is he retired? Like, how can he go back?
Yeah, I want one, obviously, condolences to Joshua and his friends. Those names is Gami and Lots. Like you said, two close friends of his. One was his coach, and obviously long-term coach. One was his best friend.
Yeah.
And there was videos circulating with them, actually prior to them when they got to Nigeria and them having a good time and smiling and having fun. And it's amazing, it just tells you how precious life is. You can be at the highest of high 1 week, just a week ago. You just made $92 million, $90+ million a week ago. You're celebrating with your people, the same people that you just lost that day, a week later. And it just lets you know how fragile and how precious life is. So make sure you guys, I know we always laugh and joke on this podcast, but let's make sure that we are, telling the people that we love, that are close to us, that we do love them. And because you never know, it can be today and be gone tomorrow, as the saying goes. As far as Anthony Joshua continues his boxing career, I'm sure that's probably the furthest thing he's thinking about at the moment. I think maybe the closest thing would get him back in the ring would be the deaths of his friend, so he can honor them in some way that he knows how, which is probably boxing, which
That's
probably
what I
got
think.
them together.
Yeah.
That may be that he'll have a lot of. That'd be a long process.
I think it'd be one and done.
It could be. I mean, obviously financially he made a lot of money this past week or a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's pretty good financially.
No,
So
he got cooked. He got cooked on that, John. They hit him both sides. Pause. They hit taxes. He got taxed in the States because the fight was in the States, and then he got taxed
when he got home.
Well,
so say he took 30 back. I mean, still,
he only made like 30 million.
The biggest payday he's ever had at one time. So I think, I'm with you. I think it's a tough place to kind of get back into the ring and get yourself back focused. And maybe he does do that one last time. And if he does win that, maybe that catapults him or he can retire. I don't know. This is a tough moment for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's blessed to be alive. He'll take, that he's a big guy too. That car crash looks crazy. So I'm sure
it was wild.
He's blessed to come out of there like that. Yeah. So I just wish the best for him. And he got super popular because, especially, it's so crazy because a lot of people didn't even know who Anthony Joshua was, especially the female community. So it's like this lover boy just popped up on the scene all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm hearing the lady over here like, oh, who's that? I'm like, what? That boy, he been around.
Yeah, right. That boy old.
So, but he walking around like, what I'm saying, shirt off. So he's become, I think, in America, he's gotten a little bit more popular, especially
surprisingly, that was only his second fight in the States.
Yeah, so a lot of people didn't know about him, and the ladies love him at the moment. So it's amazing how you, like you said, just be up and down.
Yeah, just like
and,
that.
And
And
I
you're gonna
hope the
get me
best
taken away.
and condolences and rest in peace to us.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And that's why I kind of said with the part of from the boxing perspective, the it will be dreary. It will be weird. He doesn't see those voices. He doesn't hear that laughter. So all that mindset will really play with him because I thought the Fury call out after the Jake Paul fight was great timing. All the eyes were on that fight. Everybody was watching it on Netflix. So I thought it was great timing. And then I thought that he had been through enough deep waters to take on that fight.
Mm.
Early on in his career when he was young, we saw the holes in the game, but he got smacked down. And just like every man should teach his son, or every father should teach his son, or even man teaching a young boy, you get knocked down 9 times, you get up 10. We've all heard that before. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Joshua went through that live and in living color with a lot of those kind of tough, shocking losses that he had. And I think this would have, like you said, it kind of catapulted him to the top tier, biggest name going around in boxing. The super fight was there, obviously in Wilmington. Over 100,000 people would have set all kind of records and craziness. And then just like that, snap of a finger, it all changes. So, like you said, hopefully he comes out better. I don't know if he can because that something like that will change, especially you're in the car, you're stuck in the car, visuals and all that stuff is probably insane, embedded, burnt in your head for the rest of your life. You'll never, ever forget that moment, what happened, how everything slowed down, et cetera, et cetera. So I've never been in a car crash where there was a fatality, but I've been in a car crash before. So I kind of understand maybe what that scene, at least leading up to that, was. And I understand the feeling of what you feel afterwards. Shock, obviously, your body's in shock, your mind is in shock. So you don't feel things until 2 or 3 days later. So I'm sure he's going through all that. But I do hope to see him back in the ring. I would understand if he's done.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
All right, we have made it to the end segment of the show, and that end segment, oh snaps, was not doing that. But predictions. We got the big drop of the ball this year, 2026. We want to do this live and fluid. Kind of thought about this a little bit. We could do sports predictions. We could do gambling predictions. I just put sports predictions, but it can be 2026 predictions. I'm going to start out first, and I'm going to hit you with something surprising. Left field. Not even sports. We're going to politics. Don't try to do too much politics. Not wishing for this, right? Because I think probably have cascade effects. But I do agree with something I heard that I think they've been keeping on the wraps. If you don't know, Donald Trump is the oldest president ever. I think he will run into health issues in 2026.
Oh,
I heard it somewhere from a group, I think in Panama or something, that does predictions. This is nothing. I wish I could have just let it go and take credit, but I heard it that year, and it's always been a question about his health, and they've always covered it up with that information. So I think there could be a health, not to the Joe Biden effect of mental, which you can argue if he's mental or not, but I think from just being just sick. Granted, he's an old man. Believe it or not, he don't. I know he doesn't. He doesn't seem like he's over 80, but he's over 80, right? He's like, I think he's 81 or something like that. So, those cats got to be careful, and they do get sick. So, that was going to be my number one prediction. Thought I'd throw that one out there to kind of start off the conversation.
Yeah, that's a big one. Prediction. You You kind of threw me off a little bit. I thought we were going to kind of have like a little, you going to be like a prediction of who's going to win the national championship.
Yeah. I mean, you already know where I'm at with that. I don't think that's too much of a
one, I think we got a good playoffs ahead of us. I do. College football playoffs going on right now. I think we got a good playoff scene ahead of us.
Mhm.
Obviously, Ohio State, Indiana's probably going to be the front runners of that. I'm going to predict Texas Tech is going to be the NCAA national champions.
Okay.
Between them or Indiana. I think it's going to be one of those teams. I'll say that'd be my number one right now because it's the one that's actually most, close right now as far as reigning a champion. Yeah, that's what I would say, man. I wish I should have thought about this a little bit better.
No, you're good. You're good. Well, it'll come to you as I'm talking. All right, we'll switch to sports. I don't think we'll switch to sports, and I'm gonna go with. It's not a big, I guess, prediction, but I will go with. It's going to be the OKC Thunder sweeps whoever they face in the finals.
Sweep.
Oh
boy, we're a long way from that, man. That's June.
Hey,
a lot can happen. But it is a prediction, though. You're saying.
Yeah, we are just out here spitballing.
I'm a predict that OKC doesn't make it to the NBA Finals.
There you go. I almost did that one, just because of the Spurs. What the Spurs have been able to do against OKC, but I don't know. I mean, what's their record? 28-5.
They're good. They are good. I just think it's hard.
What is 72-10? Was the Bulls? Was that the record? Is that the Bulls record?
But Golden State had 74 wins, right?
Did Golden State beat that record?
I thought Golden State had 74. I can look it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, right now they're 28-5. I mean, three of the two of the losses are to the Spurs. They lost. No, three of the losses are to the Spurs. So crazy. 5 losses, and you lose 3 of them to the same team.
That is true.
I guess a better one would be the Spurs would sweep them in the playoffs. That'd be a good.
Put the money down now. It's gonna be high if you could. That's a bet.
That'd be crazy. I got another one here for you. WNBA goes on a strike.
You think that's going to happen?
I think it might happen. Yeah, these girls want to get paid.
Yeah, that could be. That's probably the most closest, realist one that could happen.
Yeah, these women want to get paid, and as they should. Maybe not paid like they think, not as close as the men. I think we had this conversation just because of the product and the money that they generate, but I do think they should be getting paid more than what some of those salaries came out. Shout out to was it Baby Shaq? They call her Crooks.
Oh yeah. She's tough.
You know what I mean?
She is tough.
Little. You know who she remind me of? With her jumper, Sam Perkins. Little hop, little bunny hop.
She's tough. I like her a lot.
Beast. And I should have put her up on here, man. But they need to start. Everybody don't look alike.
Mm-hmm.
All comes in shapes and sizes, and I get the product. But you need to start putting that girl and that young lady and that young woman
100%
on the face of NCAA basketball. She's doing special stuff right now, and you're not doing it. You're ignoring it. I think the last clip I saw, she had like a split-second clip, if you didn't know what she looked like, on the NCAA basketball commercial that I saw. But, I mean, she is a problem. She's a beast, and I don't see why they're 10th in the nation right now. Like, come on, y'all. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, see, 40-point games, right?
Yeah, 2 40-point games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not our first year. I think it's like over.
Yeah, like listen to these last games: 41, 30, 30, 47, 18, 27. Like, she's a monster. That that 4-game run is Caitlin Clark-esque
Yeah.
in terms of points. Different style, obviously, different look, but the 47 and the 30 and then 30 and 10 and then 41.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. She's a bucket. Like, stop it.
She is. She's
a
hard. She's hard to
bucket.
guard. She has many moves inside the paint.
You
Yeah,
know?
like you said, aesthetically, it seems like that's what's been blocking her blessings to be nationally televised or nationally.
What's their record? Their third man. Iowa State's going to the Final Four. Here's another prediction.
That's a prediction. Final
Here's a
Four.
prediction.
Hey,
Iowa State Cyclones, man. I'm back.
I can see that. I can see that.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't call her big fella because that's what we do. I call her the big lady down in the post who's going to give everybody work. Ain't nobody. I saw a video and I just felt bad for the white girl trying to guard her. She just looked at the bench and just put her hands up.
Like, what am
I can't do nothing with this Matt truck down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope she can become number 1 pick. I hope she gets everything that she worked hard for, man. I ain't trying to hear nothing.
That is true. 100%.
I'm trying to think what else. I think also, and then this is a more relevant prediction to the show. I think that I think you will see something new coming out of gambling. I don't know really
about that.
Really what it is. I think gambling has changed since we even started. Kind of since I started Money Pot, it kind of took on a life of its own. But I think there's going to be a major shift in gambling. We kind of saw that with the taxation thing, but I think there's going to be another major shift in gambling coming in 2026. What that is, I don't know. I haven't really looked at what they're cooking or anything like that. But I think you see something change in gambling. Well, you might question if you even gamble anymore. I mean, most people do now, especially with all these gambling stores coming out. But I think something really shifts in the gambling perspective in 2026.
Yeah. Are you saying for the good or for the bad?
I think for the bad.
Yeah.
I think for the bad. I think.
I would not top that. I would second that and say I think it's going to be either a bunch of or one huge big scandal dealing with gambling in sports. And I think we're already kind of getting the little crumbs of things that's happening.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I just feel it brewing to kind of go over the pot because you're adding now, with the NCAA and college and pros now going to be able to go back to college and this is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to be off. Whether it's going to be gambling, it's going to be just the wild west between the NCAA, the NILs, the transfer portals, who's eligible and not. It's going to be a little bit of a messy situation. I think it does implode in 2026 somewhere along that line.
And for my last prediction, your Super Bowl champions will be the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, we going down Broad Street because I don't see anybody in the AFC that I am really remotely worried about. I think we're playing at a different level. I will still be honest. Like I said in our chat, I do not want to see the Rams in round 1. I don't. I think that would be a 50-50 game. I think that'd be a tough game. I think they want to see us. And obviously, on our side, we've beaten Stafford multiple times. We've beaten the Rams multiple times, so we're not worried. But I think that is a game that we should be worried about. I think any threat is in the NFC. I don't think there's any threats in the AFC to the Philadelphia Eagles. So
mind you, chat. This is a different conversation than it was a week ago with this guy about the Rams.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, keep it a bean. I mean, I said I don't think that we can beat that team.
That's what he said. That is what he said.
That's what I said.
And that sounds different than what he just said now.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy that he's got on board. And
I've always been on board. It's not. Okay. I never jumped off the motherfucking wagon. Okay. I've always been on the Eagles train. But I call it a spade, and I see it, and the way they were playing offensively, and we still see it, right? We just saw this last game, like not having any completions in the second half for the second time this year, and still win the game is just a wild stat, and that I don't think that is a sustainable stat against something like the LA Rams. I don't think they can do that against the LA Rams. I'm not sure if they can do that against the 49ers. They can definitely do that against anybody in the AFC, though, and get away with it. So our competition, obviously, is what's in our conference. But you put this Eagles team against any team in the AFC, I'm not really worried about it. You know what I mean? Denver beat us, but we was busting Denver's ass earlier in that game, and we just let up 18 points in the fourth quarter. That's not going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? So we just beat the Bills, obviously ugly, in an ugly game. The Patriots without Stefon Diggs is the worst team there. We did lose to the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken.
We did overtime.
But we beat in these games that we lose, and I say this a lot, even when I talk about the Rams. Did the Eagles lose? Did the Chargers win, or did the Eagles lose? Right? And I look at it like the Eagles lost that game because they let themselves lose that game by making dumb mistakes. Just like in Denver, being up 18, you lost that. Now, did Denver take the opportunity to go win? For sure. Not trying to take anything away from Denver, but the Eagles score a touchdown in the fourth quarter or a point in the fourth quarter. That game, that doesn't happen. So looking at the AFC again, I'm not scared about anybody in the AFC, especially if we get to the Super Bowl. I say it again. I don't want to see the Rams really. But hopefully that got you thinking about anything. Got anything else for me?
No, can we just go back up to that picture of the playoff thing real quick? Is that close to you?
Yeah.
Just want everybody to know. I know Eagles haven't had the year that everybody thought as what it would look like. But I just want to remind everybody that the Eagles had one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. And if you look at this playoff picture right now, we have played pretty much everybody on this list. That's a fact. We played the Denver Broncos, the Buffalo Bills, the Chargers, and everybody on the right besides the Carolina Panthers and the San Francisco 49ers. Like, that's a tough – we put – and Seattle. I've got these guys.
Seattle. Yeah.
Like, that's tough. Not including the guys that were Super Bowl champions last year in Kansas City and all those guys. Like, it's a tough schedule. So for us to kind of get to where we are right now in a 3 seed, I think even we said it prior to the season, it was going to be tough. I think, what did we say? 10 wins, right? I think I said no more. What did we say? I wish we can go back to. We got to go back to that video and see what we said.
Yeah. Did I write it down?
I think we had I think it was no more than 10. I think I said no more than 10 wins.
Yeah, I would have to find out.
And I think you were 11 wins. I think you were right there, right, kind of right where we are. We were kind of right.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we didn't get right the games that we would lose though. That's the only thing.
True.
Yeah, that's what it was. But the schedule kind of fell to where it is. I'll see if I can find it with our predictions. I forget what we said about and also our predictions with our bets too.
Yeah, we should run through that.
Yeah, should run that through that and see where we landed on that for sure. So, man, great show. Way to end 2025. I know 2026 is going to be great. I said this to my family. I think 2026 is going to be a transitional year. Where things are kind of transitioning in and outside of social media and in real life, and I think we need to set up systems that set up habits for achieving things that you guys want and people want to achieve, including here at Money Pot. So I think that with setting up those systems, you do create habits, and then those habits get you steps closer to whatever that end result is. Because when you set goals, when you look at setting goals, after you reach the goal, it's like, what's the next thing? Like, the goal stops. When you set up a system, it doesn't stop. It's continuous. You continue to follow through with that. So, like, even on people on their weight loss journey, including myself, I want to set up a system looking at more of not, I want to really reach losing, 30 pounds or 50 pounds or X amount of pounds, whatever that is. I want to set up a system that will set me up for success to get me to those more milestones instead of goals. And those milestones are hit. It's because my system is the right system that is making me get there. So I don't want to put the pressure on myself to hit this end date at this time. It's more of I want to do all the small things right, because I know if I do all the small things right, then the big things kind of happen. So, to end 2025, I want to just share that thought that I've been thinking about. And I've actually started journaling, kind of writing down some of my thoughts, trying to do these daily habits so I can actually express them the way I want to, and share those with those that I care about, show theirs with our fans and people who follow us, just to send a good message going into 2026. So I'm telling you right now, 2026, man, the year of systems and transitions.
Okay,
You know
I like the way it sounds.
systems and transitions in 2026. So for myself, I'm Moss Money, man. 5-0, man. 5-0 or 5-0. There we go. That's better. 5-0 on the episode track of Gambling Nights. We will see you guys next week for some more updated news with college football by that time, and NFL. That's Be Humble. Everybody have a happy new year. We see you guys in 2026.